Hello once again, everybody. It's Todd the Mod. Welcome to my music channel. If you are returning, welcome back. And if you are brand new, welcome aboard. Would you be my subscriber? Would love to have you aboard. I'd like to make some more friends. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe. I usually see that at the end of the video, but thought I'd start off with that. Record Store Day 2025 was today. The picture you saw at the beginning of this video was the InGroove, which is where I went to here in Phoenix, Arizona. And I got there at 2 a.m. First time I've ever done this. Usually I just get up like about 4:30, maybe 5, get there at 6. And, I usually find what I want. I usually have to go to 2 record stores to do it. But I've learned my lesson over the years. And I usually would start off at Zia's Records, and then I'd go to the InGroove. And this year I'm like, no, I'm going to go to the InGroove and eliminate having to go to 2 record stores. Plus, I love the InGroove. That's my favorite record shop here in Arizona. It's a small business. Well, it's a one-man-owned business. It's not a chain. And I'm a firm believer in supporting our local small businesses. So it's a win-win. And plus, Mike, the owner, has a wonderful selection, orders plenty for Record Store Day. Went to the InGroove. 2 a.m. I got there. I got restless, was up at 1:15, decided I couldn't sleep, headed on down. Brought my chair, brought my blanket, was in my sweatshirt, which I technically don't need right now because it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's about 98 degrees outside, so I don't know why I'm still wearing this. Probably because the Padre game's on in about 30 minutes, so hopefully I can keep this video down to 30 minutes. Where have I been? I haven't been making a video for the last 3 weeks. I'm going to touch briefly on this. As if you are watching and returning, you know that back, not this past February, but February in 2024, I had a stroke, doing a lot of recovery from that, blah, 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 blah. Just had ACDF surgery on my neck about almost 2 months ago. As you can see the scar. I'm bad at cameras here. You can see the scar there. I'm focusing that on my therapy, focusing on walking. Oh, great news. I'm not in a wheelchair anymore. I am actually using a quad cane now, mostly, instead of a 4-wheel walker. I'm using that when I get tired. Doing a lot of therapy, working on balancing, but doing very, very well. I'm getting stronger, working on my stamina. And then now we're focusing on my neck recovery because it is still very, very sore and I still ache. But I'm doing much better. Long story short, it was a long road, fought very hard for over a year now, and a lot of doctor's appointments, still kind of go into that, and not as many though, and doing much better, getting there. Almost 100%, may not be 100%. I might have a new normal, which is a cane, and I can live with that. I'm still able. I went paddleboarding for the first time last Sunday. I did most of it sitting down, but it was a milestone to go do that. So that was really nice. And also, really fast, what was I going to say? Oh, I was also very, very sick. I've been getting, not to be gross, but I've been getting UTI since my stroke. Really had a bad one where it kind of kicked my butt in bed for 3 days, couldn't walk. So yeah, all that stuff. Basically to say that's why I haven't made any videos, but I'm back now. So there you go. I'm hoping I can be more consistent and making sure I do a video at least every Sunday. Anyway, back to Record Store Day. Can you see that? 2025. I've got this cool pin. It was part of my swag. It was cool. I also got a cool poster. Record Store Day, Snoopy and Linus. If y'all watch my channel, you know I'm a big Snoopy, Charlie Brown fan. I have been since I was a kid. And I collect a lot of their stuff, a lot of Vince Guraldi's music work as well. And we're going to start off with that. So there was 2 releases by Vince Guraldi for Record Store Day. One was a picture disc it's the Easter Beagle Charlie Brown. I think it was like a 7-inch picture disc. I passed on it because I'm not a big picture disc fan. I just not. I have a few of them in my collection. I think the only one that I like that I have that plays good is the Cure's Wish album on picture disc, and it sounds good. Every other picture disc I have a few by the Police, Fool's Garden. They don't sound very good. So I kind of pass on picture disc. Although I was really tempted to get the Head on the Door picture disc by The Cure, but I have it on vinyl already, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to take a chance. So anyway, first selection. We're going to open these as we go because I haven't opened most of them except for this one. Vince Guraldi's Charlie Brown. This is called Jazz Impressions of a Boy Named Charlie Brown, on blue vinyl on the Fantasy label. And I did open this one and played it already. That was the first thing I played after I took my nap today. By the way, in my age, I mean, there's people older than me that got there before I did. I was like number 19 in line at the InGroove, and I got there, like I said, at 2 a.m., and I realized I'm getting too old for this. I don't think I would do that again. Also, too, I'm still recovering, so it probably, probably wasn't the greatest idea, but I got to experience it, what it was like, somewhat, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't think I'll do that again. Anyway, Vince Guraldi on beautiful blue vinyl on the Fantasy label. Great outtakes and alternative takes of some of the music from A Boy Named Charlie Brown. Really happy I got this. And I don't know about the InGroove, but I know it sold out in other places. So last year, and I'll post a video to that up here somewhere on Record Store Day for April, there was another release for Vince Guraldi. It was a short summer Charlie Brown, and I couldn't get it because it sold out. I got lucky because they re-released it, I think, back in July. So I got lucky on that one. Anyway, Vince Guraldi. Next one. This was the year for live albums, or this was the Record Store Day for live albums, and I did get a few of them, and I was going to get this one. It was Sting 3.0 live, and when I researched the prices, it said $36.99, not at the InGroove, but another record store where I get the prices from, because they're pretty much the same prices everywhere. And I think it was a misprint because I picked it up. I'm going, wait a minute, this is $55. Now, I have a hard time paying anything over $50, unless it's something I really, really, really have to have or really want. Like if it's a Toad the Wet Sprocket, or if it's a Smith's reissue, or whatever it is. Sting, although I respect Sting, I do like his first 3 solo albums, and then I kind of lost interest in him after his greatest hits. And I love The Police, by the way. I'm like, I couldn't justify it. I'm like, yeah, I could pass on that. So I got this instead. It's The Grays, and it's called Rochambeau. And I had this on CD when it first came out back in 1994. Jason Faulkner. Let me describe him for a minute. Jason Faulkner got his start. Back in high school, he loved a band called The 3 O'Clock, and so do I. The 3 O'Clock, amazing group. Check them out if you haven't heard them. 16 Tambourines. Listen to that album. It's a great album. Steve Carlson, if you're watching, you can definitely back me up on that. Jason Faulkner joined The 3 O'Clock for their last album, Vermilion, I think it was called. And at that point, The 3 O'Clock was signed to Prince's label, Paisley Park. And I don't know if it was the record company or just The 3 O'Clock wanting to go in a different direction, but they were kind of trying to sound poppy, and they're just not a poppy band. That's just not who they are. I kind of feel like the last album, they were trying to be something they weren't. And Jason Faulkner kind of felt the same way. Like, this is not the 3 O'Clock I fell in love with, right? The band 3 O'Clock dispersed, and then they went on. Jason Faulkner went on to join one of my most beloved bands, Jellyfish. Belly Button was their debut album, and Jason Faulkner played a good role as a guitar player in that band and toured with them and was part of the band. Left the band because I think Andy Sturmer was a little bit hard to work with, and also too Jason Faulkner, an accomplished songwriter. He wanted his songs on the album too, and wasn't going to happen. The majority of that songwriting for Jellyfish was Andy Sturmer and Roger. Excuse me. And I'm not going to get too much into Jellyfish because it's not about Jellyfish. But then he went to form the Grays, and with another person called John Bryan. Now, John Bryan, ironically, would go on. He's a great producer, underrated musician, underrated songwriter. He would actually do a lot of guitar work for Jellyfish's second album, Spilt Milk. And so he joined Jason Faulkner on the Grays. And this is just a wonderful, wonderful album. We are going to open it right now. And I wish I had my little tool to do this. I'm going to save my little hype sticker, too. I got that from Steve. But it's a double album. Now, I'm not sure. I think it's just plain black vinyl. Let's just find out. Nice little Sleeves here, there's pictures of the band. Pretty cool. Obviously credits, which I haven't read yet because I just opened this, and more credits, which I need to read. Yeah, I mean, the biggest song off this one was Very Best Years, which is a great, great song. Black vinyl, pink side, blue side. Has a couple bonus tracks on it too, which is nice. I actually have the bonus tracks. I have the cassette single of Very Best Years, like a promo single, and I actually have those two songs as B-sides. But I'm stoked that it's on vinyl. Yellow side and red side. So there's the two albums there. So the Grays, Rochambeau. Ironically, sold out too. I don't know if the InGroove still has them, but the InGroove will post their what's left tomorrow on Sunday, April 14th, when you're viewing this video. I'll put a link to their website and also to Mike's YouTube channel. He doesn't need any help from me. Trust me, I have 178 subscribers. He's got a gazillion, so he doesn't need any help from me. But he live streams Record Store Day, which is kind of cool. And he makes really good videos every week of new releases that the store gets in. So even if you don't live in Arizona, you can order from them wherever you are, and you can watch his video every week, and you can find out what's the newest releases he has. Pretty cool. The Grays. I want to take one moment to do a shout out, and I'm going to put a link to his channel below. Play vinyl in the Milky Night. Right? Did I get that right, Mike? Mike, did I get that right? I'm sorry. I met Mike today at the InGroove. So little tidbit story for you. I was like 19 in line, and I saw him. I saw someone looked like him way down in the line, and I was like, that looks like Mike. I'm kind of shy, and I don't really just go up to people and say, "Are you?" That's not who I am. I'm kind of shy about that. And but I was like, it looks like Mike. I think that's Mike. And I watch his channel all the time, and we got a lot of similar taste in music. And I was coming out of the InGroove, and he came up to me, Todd. I'm like, oh my God, it's Mike. And so gave him a hug, shook his hand, and Mike, if you are watching, I sent you my email. Email me your contact information. I'll do the same thing. It'd be really cool to do a cool vinyl shopping video together, because he's in Arizona as well, obviously. So, Mike, it was a pleasure meeting you, and hope we can collaborate at some point. Thank you so much, Mike, for coming up and talking to me. And like I said, I'm kind of shy, so I didn't do that. But I was like, I wanted to. I was like, oh, I think that's Mike. So yeah, cool. Anyway, thank you, Mike. Back to Record Store Day. Like I said, there was a lot of live albums. And I have this next one. This is for those of you who know me and have watched my channel. My two favorite groups are the Smiths and insert answer here, Toad the Wet Sprocket. Love Toad the Wet Sprocket. This originally was released in 2001 only on CD. It's their only live album they ever put out. And so when I saw this on the list, I'm going, this is why I'm going to go to Record Store Day at 2 a.m. This is the one reason why. Because I think there's only 1,800 printed of these. And I was like, I got to get a copy of this. Never released on vinyl. It's Welcome Home, Arlington, Toad the Wet Sprocket, their live album. This is back when they were supporting their third album, Fear. Now, Fear was the album that got them on the map 8 months after it got released, right? So they released it, wasn't really doing much. They released a few singles, wasn't clicking until All I Want came out, got remixed, and then all of a sudden it was like, Toad the Wet Sprocket. It was a feel-good hit of the summer. But this was the tour that they were supporting that album, and Fear is just definitely one of my favorite albums by them. I love a good 99% of their work. And so this album, when it came out in CD, obviously I bought it. And I just love the live album because I've seen them 23 times in concert. Saw them on this tour several times, actually. But yeah, I met them a few times, and they're just down-to-earth kind of guys. They're really cool to talk to. Anyway, let's open this up. It doesn't say, it just says here, it's a classic 1992 hometown show on 2 LPs, first time on vinyl, features inspired live performances of Walk on the Ocean, All I Want, and many more. You like how I said that? Here's a back with the track listings. Same picture in the CD, which is them playing live at the Arlington. Let's see here. This is a picture not in the CD. That's kind of cool. That's Glenn, and that would be Dean Dinning playing bass. And then we have, another picture not on the CD, I don't think, is them posing. I'm not terribly sure this was for the Fear. This is more of the Coil sessions or Dulcinea, maybe at best, but I think this is like towards the end of their career before they broke up. They're back together now, obviously, but they broke up after Coil. And on the back it has Todd Nichols and Randy Gus. Todd Nichols, lead guitar player. Randy Gus, drummer. Well, used to be their drummer. He's no longer their drummer anymore. He left the band quite a while ago. Anyway, let's see. I'm pretty sure it's just on black vinyl, which kind of sucks, but no, I'm just joking. Black vinyl, black label. Hey, I'm not going to complain because having this on vinyl almost completes my collection on vinyl. Well, I don't think they ever released Coil on vinyl, and that would be kind of cool if they do. Maybe they re-released it and I missed it. I don't know, but that's the only one I'm missing on vinyl from Till the Wet Sprocket. I actually have the box set, which has their colored vinyl, so I have pretty much everything on vinyl. And Pale, I actually have on Pale. It's because the color is pale. That's a pretty cool album. Yeah, there we go. Till the Wet Sprocket. I'll put a link up here to my Till the Wet Sprocket series if you ever want to watch it. I'm not very good at describing stuff. I do my best, so if you don't want to watch it, that's perfectly fine too. You don't hurt my feelings. Anyway, Till the Wet Sprocket. This is really why I went to Record Store Day 4. So glad I have it. Can't wait to listen to it again because I've heard it several times, but it's a great live album. You can listen to it if you don't have a copy of it. That did sell out too, by the way. In fact, the InGroove, I don't know if they had more in the back. That was the only one I saw in the rack. So I was so stoked to get it. But you can listen to it on any streaming platform too. All right, moving onward, more live albums. Now, I just said Till the Wet Sprocket's my favorite album, my favorite group. My other one's The Smiths. This person's from The Smiths. I love his solo work, and that is Johnny Marr. He has another live album out. He had Adrenaline come out years ago, which I loved. But now he has one called Look Out Live, and I was totally stoked because this has, although maybe a couple tracks off his first live album, this has a lot of Smith stuff that he does in concert that is not on Adrenaline. So you just haven't earned it yet, baby. Getting Away With It, which was on Adrenaline, but this has Neil Tennant from Pet Shop Boys, who originally was on the recording with him on that. Rebel with Neil Tennant. I'm going to assume that's a David Bowie cover. Get the Message. Hi, Hello. Please, please, please let me get what I want. This Charming Man. And Panic. He does Panic. So, yeah, let's open this up. I'm really stoked. My best friend in San Diego, my hometown, went and got his copy today too, and so I had to bug him. Like, what color did you get? I think I could have sworn it was in gold, but it's an orange. So I need to save that hype sticker. But I am going to take this out of the plastic. It's like an unwrapping video. It's kind of like Christmas. Isn't Record Store Day like kind of Christmas? You know, Santa comes and, well, I don't know if Santa comes. You have to go out and get your presents, but you know what I mean. All right. Opening up here. So you have this hype sticker. Nice material. Kind of glossy. Open it up, and there's Johnny Marr. Such a cool shot of him. He's such a cool character. He's my favorite guitar player. I have 3, and he's definitely probably my first. So if you want to know my other 2 favorite guitar players, it'd be Glenn Tilbrook and Andy Summers from The Police. Yeah, I'd go with that. All right, open this up. The first one, you have Johnny Marr. You have his bandmates. I don't know their names. I apologize. And then, of course, a cool shot of Johnny Marr. Open it up. You have Orange. It's pretty. Kind of like a tangerine color. I don't know. Orange. And then let's open the second one. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, we have credits, which I will read later. Oh, Doviak is the keyboards and vocals and guitar. Iwan, bass and vocals. Jack Mitchell on drums. Cool. Awesome. And a cool shot of Johnny Marr rocking out. There you go. And I'm going to assume it's the same color. Yes, it is. Pretty cool. I love it. And yeah, Johnny Marr, Look Out Live. Can't wait to spin this one. I'm not going to be able to listen to any of this today because Padre game's on. Gotta watch the Padres. All right, live albums from England. but this was recorded in my hometown of San Diego, a place called Del Mar, which is where I used to go surfing at. If you're not familiar with Del Mar is pretty cool. It's a really nice area. The beaches are cool because it's not touristy so much. So it's kind of like San Diego's little hidden treasure somewhat. They do have a little tourist place called the Del Mar Racetrack where they have races for horse races. They also have a fair there, and they do give concerts. I'm not sure how much concerts they do nowadays, but back then in the 80s, they were doing quite a few. And I actually have my VHS copy of this. Thompson Twins Into the Gap recorded at the Del Mar Fair. And they released it on vinyl. And I'm so stoked. Thompson Twins Into the Gap Live. There it is. I hope you can see it. Pretty cool. Into the Gap Live, released for the first time ever on limited edition turquoise and yellow vinyl. Here's the back. There's the front. Let's open it. Yeah, really stoked. The concert footage is wonderful. I haven't watched that VHS tape in quite some time, but yeah. I was supposed to go to this concert, and unfortunately I couldn't go for some reason. I can't remember. But yeah, my friend did. My friend Jeff from England, I think, went to this concert. Jeff, if you're watching, correct me, but I think you went to this concert. Cool. You can order T-shirts, or you could back then. This is just a replica. I don't think they're actually selling T-shirts anymore. This is like in the when they re-released Into the Gap. They have the same thing. So yeah, you can't order that stuff anymore. But you know, has some cool writing here. When we came to town, all the freaks and misfits who'd been bullied could feel normal. That was such gratification when we got off stage, especially in America. We were the ones getting abuse. Don't look at the animals walking through America with our lipstick and eye makeup still on. It could get hairy. Little message there from Joe Leeway. All right, cool. He was the one, if you ever hold me now, that did the high vocal part at the end. It wasn't Alana, it was him. Cool picture shot of them live in concert. There you go. That's the Del Mar Fair Racetrack. And here's the turquoise. It's pretty beautiful right there. I like that. And yellowish. Yeah. Yellow vinyl. There you go. Can't wait to hear this. I mean, I've seen the concert. I know the arrangements and the concert footage is amazing. I think you can actually go watch on YouTube. You know? But yeah, Thompson Twins. Into the Gap Live. Another live album. So that's 3 live albums I got. Now, this one I was waffling on a bit because, like I just said earlier, $50. No. Not to be cheap. I've seen people walk out of the InGroove with like stacks like this much of records. I'm going, either you're rich or your pocketbook's going to be hurting for a while. Yeah, so I did purchase it. I'm like, you know what? This is such a great album. I have it on CD when it first came out. I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I did it. For $50, I bought Dada's debut album, Puzzle, never released on vinyl in the United States. I think Mike said it was released, I forgot what country, and if you find it, it's like a ridiculous amount of money. Limited to 2,000 copies. Well, this was, not the original one. Limited 2,000 copies, 2 LP vinyl debut, the 1992 alt-rock classic with an entire side of bonus tracks on strawberry with black swirl pressing. Haven't seen it yet because I haven't opened it. Bonus tracks. Yeah, it's got some bonus tracks. This is such a great album. What a great album. Everyone knows the hit song off this, Disneyland, which is a good song. But so many more songs on here that are great. Dorina, Dog is a great song. Surround, Here Today, Gone Tomorrow. Timothy, which is a song about a boy whose dad is an astronaut and discovers Mars, and his mom is a movie star, and he basically is neglected. Really pretty song. My favorite song off this is Dim. And I was going to play samples of it, but I just don't have the time, and I am exhausted. So look it up, though. I mean, you don't need to get me samples. You can go to any streaming service. If you've never heard Dada, look up the song Dim. And, of course, you probably remember Disneyland. If you were listening to the radio stations in the 90s, you probably heard it. But Dim, wonderful song. Great album. Listen to the whole album. It's a great album. So let's open this up. I haven't seen it yet, and I'm dying to see what's going on here. I'm going to have to... This is a gatefold? Yeah, it is. I'm going to have to take off the plastic, but again, I will save, in honor of Steve's habits that I picked up on, I will save the hype sticker. And yeah, beautiful, beautiful packaging. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, open it up, and you got some lyrics in case you want to sing along to your favorite song, just like the CD. And then the fun part is opening up. Got your black poly sleeve here, and this one is. Ooh, that is pretty. I love that purple black swirl. I am digging this. Cool. Got the band members on the label. That's the drummer, guitar player Michael. All right, that's beautiful. I assume the second one is going to be the same. Let's find out, shall we? This one has Joey on it. And yeah, same concept. There's Joey, the bass player and vocalist, and also, too, the whole band shot. Wow, that is beautiful. I love that. That is so awesome. I'm so happy. You know what? It was worth the $50. I did good. And this one sold out, too. Mike had a really cool contest. So when he was doing his YouTube video, and I could maybe put a link to this here, the band, Dada, actually sent Mike a whole bunch of cool stuff, autograph stuff, some pictures, I think it was some kind of little booklet, whatever. And he gave it away to the first person who was going to buy Dada. I wasn't the first person. I was kind of hoping maybe there's a slight chance people ahead of me didn't know who Dada was, but there was somebody who did. And, congratulations to that guy. I mean, he got there really early and he deserves it. So I'm just happy I got a copy of the record. So, all right. One more thing. Non-record store. Every time I go to Record Store Day, I find one thing that I get that's not a Record Store Day exclusive. This is from the 80s. You may have heard of them. Altered Images and Bite. I paid $6 for this. The hit song off this is Don't Talk to Me About Love. And I have the 12-inch version of this, but I used to have this on cassette, and I never owned it on vinyl. And so for $6, because the InGroove prices their records really nicely, I must say, I had to get it. So I did. And I'm looking forward to listening to it. And, the thing about InGroove, too, is they clean their records. Like they get used records and they don't, most record stores just say, okay, yeah, it's decent. I'll throw it in the record bin and sell it. They actually clean it, and it sounds wonderful. So it's a great service. Thank you, InGroove. Thank you, Mike. All right. That's Record Store Day 2025. Those are my pickings. I got everything I wanted. And it was a success to me. So what were your Record Store Day findings? Did you go to Record Store Day? Did you get everything you want? Drop a comment below. Again, like this video, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe. I'd like to get to know more channels out there. And thank you for watching. I will be back again with another video next Sunday. Maybe even I'm going to be realistic. Doing one video is probably all I can handle right now. So next Sunday, definitely another video. And thank you for watching. Be good to each other. Have a great week, too. And we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.